Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about a very important concept which all of you need to know. And it's that pieces are not always worth the same value. Sometimes a queen is worth 9, sometimes it's worth more, sometimes it's worth less. It's true for every piece. When you were starting to play chess, you were taught the queen is worth 9, the rook is worth 5, the knight is worth 3, the bishop is worth 3, and the pawn is worth 1. But in many cases, those rules do not apply, and sometimes they can be broken. And to explain what I mean, I'm going to show you the game which a student of mine and I played together a couple of days ago against someone rated 1429. The time control was game in 15 minutes with a 10-second increment. So let's take a look. e4, e5, nothing special. White attacks the pawn. We defend. White plays the Italian game. Now there are two ways to respond. Well, there is also bishop e7, but the two main moves are bishop c5, which is the Italian game, and knight f6. Knight f6 allows knight g5. It's absolutely fine if you know what you're doing, but you need to know what you're doing. So if you are playing knight f6, you need to know what to do against this. And in a different video, I'm going to show you, but that's not the goal of the video today. White plays d3, which is absolutely fine, defending this pawn, allowing for the bishop to come out. We develop, which makes perfect sense. That's a good bishop. White plays h3, which is not a terrible move. It might not be necessary, but at some point, White wants to make sure that this bishop does not show up. White is not scared of the knight because, well, if White castles, this pawn will be double protected. We played d6, which makes sense, open the door for the bishop, but also supporting this pawn, which means this knight, in some cases, would like to go here and trade itself for this bishop, because in a lot of cases, bishops are slightly better than knights. White played a3, which makes sense, given the bishop in escape square just in case. Now knight here makes 0 sense, because knight here the bishop will just move. Now knight just doesn't do anything, in fact it might get forked. So now knight a5 doesn't work, and white in some world might play pawn b4. We played bishop e6, challenging this bishop. White took, we took back. Now we open this line, and now there's some ideas of the queen coming this way. White played knight g5 attacking this pawn. We played queen e7 defending. White castled. We castled long. It's not the greatest move, but Nika wanted to castle long, it's fine. It's a little bit risky because if we castle this way, we already have an open line, but this is fine. White offers a bishop trade. We dropped back. The reason is we could take. Taking is fine. We could also maybe play d5 with the idea that the queen then defends the bishop. We don't really want to allow this because then after takes, this pawns are doubled and isolated. And the reason I didn't want to take is there is a world where this knight wants to get here. If we take and white takes, this world does not exist. So we dropped, which is fine. White played c3, probably preparing d4. We played d5, fighting for the center. White decided to take the bishop first, which is maybe not ideal, but it's not absolutely terrible. We took back. Notice we're taking with the a pawn. Now all the pawns are connected. White played queen b3. But white forgot one important thing. So we don't want to take here right away. Although even now we probably can. Because if he takes with the knight, we can take this pawn. If he takes with the pawn, we can maybe do this. However, then we have to double isolate pawns. So we decide to play h6 first. And white decide to take, which actually helps us. Because obviously we take with the pawn. And now we have very nice pawns. White saved the knight, makes perfect sense. Played e4 to harass the knight and to gain more space. White played rook e1. Notice we're now pinned, which means we cannot take. We shifted the queen, now we can take, because there is no queen. So white took, we took with the pawn. Open up this line, attacking the knight. The knight dropped to d2, double attacking this pawn. We brought the rook and double defended. All our pieces are playing chess. Notice white's two pieces are not very good. White played queen a4, this is annoying. So we spent a move to stop it, king b8. Now white played rook e3. White played rook e3. We played queen f4, improving our queen. And white decided to play pawn g3. Now there is a downside to this, which is the king is becoming a little bit more vulnerable, and this square is now, if this knight does exist, is accessible for our pieces. So we drop the queen back to f5, attacking this pawn. White defended, he needs to go to g2. If he goes to h2, this pawn will die. And we play h5. And the point of h5 is we actually want to play h4. And the point is, if white ever takes, then his king is open, but also we have access to this square, for example, for our knight. This is a very important idea, which you need to remember. Carving out this square, we want access here. If we push and he pushes, once again, this square becomes available. White play knight b3, because he wants to improve the knight. But the downside of this move is one of our dreams was to bring our knight. We couldn't really do it before because it would have blocked the rook from defending, but now since white knight does not attack the pawn, we can play knight e5 and try to get to the square. So white plays knight g4, and that was the point of knight b3. And this is a very, very nice knight. So now this is an important idea which I wanted to talk about. If you compare the four knights on the board, this one is probably the best one. It's worth a lot more than 3 points. And also we would like to continue our attack with one of these moves. And this is why it's time to sacrifice the rook for the knight, which computer actually thinks is the best move. Let me show you really quickly. So, in this world, computer thinks it's brilliant. And let me explain why computer thinks it's brilliant. The reason computer thinks it's brilliant is our attack continues. White still has two pieces which are not playing chess. We get rid of white's best piece, which was worth a lot more than 3 points. And now with this knight dead, our knight has access here. Our knight has access here. Both of which are very, 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 very nice moves. White took back with the queen. Now we play knight d3, which double attacks this pawn. It's not so easy to defend this pawn. White plays rook e2, like everything is terrible. But rook e2 allows a very... By the way, the best move for white, again, going back to this idea, which we talked about, is to take this knight. Because this knight is now very good. It's worth a lot more than 3 points. This would have been the best move. Let's see if computer thinks it's also brilliant. No, it just thinks it's best. Black is still attacking, but Computer thinks it's best. Instead, White drops back, and now this allows us to invade Queen f3, forking the king and the rook, and the problem for the king is if he goes there, he will simply get checkmated. So boom, boom, game over. Instead, White played there, lost the rook, and resigned. So I want you to remember this very important concept that sometimes pieces are worth more than you think they are. And sometimes sacrificing one of your pieces for a smaller piece by your opponent could be really good, especially in cases like this, where your opponent's piece is really good, it's stopping your plans. Again, if we go forward a couple of moves, we have the same concept again, where White's best chance to survive is to give up his rook. Everything else is much, much worse. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, please subscribe, and I will be back soon. Thank you.